Eating disorders are serious and sometimes deadly illnesses. Caleb Lewis, Forest View's lead dietitian, is here with us today to talk more about treatment options and the signs to look out for. Thank you for being here with us, Caleb.
Absolutely.
So let's just first talk about what are eating disorders. There are different types of disorders.
Yeah, so eating disorders, they present like a dysfunction in, physical and mental, patterns. So when it comes to eating disorders, now that's going to refer to food. So we see that physical and like mental dysfunction when it comes to our thoughts towards food, attitudes towards just, what our body might want to look like or what we want our body to look like, and then our just beliefs about what healthy and unhealthy eating is and what healthy and unhealthy like body weight even can be in some forms of disordered eating.
What are some of the misunderstandings about eating disorders?
So one big misunderstanding about eating disorders is like just looking at somebody on the outside and trying to determine what type of eating disorder they might have. It's borderline impossible to do that. So that can be a big reason why people can go misdiagnosed or misscreened just because of the judgments we might have based on what a disorder eating looks like or who people think would have an eating disorder, which we can see eating disorders happen in anybody at any time.
So how do you know if someone has an eating disorder?
If somebody has an eating disorder, the first thing that you want to do is to get screened. So getting screened will kind of have us ask or answer the questions, well, what is our eating pattern like? Or what type of behaviors do we present? Are we presenting things such as poor intake? Are we like presenting behaviors of, just eating outside of like what our body really needs? Anything like that can kind of give us clues into what an eating disorder is for somebody, if they have these patterns, if they have these behaviors, and what we can do about it.
What do parents need to know right now? They are concerned about their child.
So parents really need to know that we want to create a space for children to talk about these things with them, all right? So we want to establish that rapport, that trust to, say, hey, this is a space where I can talk about things such as an eating disorder. I know it can be embarrassing sometimes for children to talk about these things, especially to their parents, and it could be very fearful because the ways that these disordered eating patterns develop can come from, friends at school or even other family members or even the parents themselves, even if it wasn't like on purpose or an accident. It could just be, misguided beliefs about food, anything that a parent might have said about themselves even, that can have these behaviors just present themselves.
Because, even if they are wrong about their child, it may lead to a very important conversation about healthy eating, body image.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you talk to someone about getting help?
So when we want to talk to someone about getting help, we want to know that, one, there is a lot of resources out there to get help, all right? There's a lot of screening tools that can help us understand what's going on with our disordered eating patterns. When we initially talk to somebody who has, or we might suspect has, problems with eating, you want to come from a point of, empathy. You want to kind of understand where they're coming from, kind of give them a space to be able to be honest with you about, disordered eating patterns. So we want to create that space, be present with them. And then after that, we want to point them in the right direction based on their patterns to get the help that they need.
Walk us through treatment options. What does that look like when you come in, your role?
Yeah, so for my role, treatment options include, even before people see me, if disordered eating patterns are severe enough, we want to seek the emergency department. Sometimes we want to have people become more medically stable in order that they can step down to a facility like where I work so that we can work on, restoring eating patterns through, nutrition education. That's where I stand in. And then, unfortunately, with eating disorders, they might come with like comorbidities, or I should say, behaviors that are outside of disordered eating. So at my facility, we give patients a space to work on both of these things. So when patients are able to see me, now we have the space to work on nutrition education, psychotherapy, all these things. Outside of my facility, there's also other places that specialize more in eating disorders, such as residential places like eating disorder recovery centers. There's outpatient services that meet less frequently than people at my facility. So there's an array of options for eating disorder treatment based on either the severity of the eating disorder or just like the stage of recovery someone's in.
What are you seeing when it comes to eating disorders? It can affect anyone.
Yes, so it does not matter the population, the ethnic group. Eating disorders affect, I want to say, either 9 to 10% of Americans. So in your entire life, 10% or around that number of Americans could be affected by an eating disorder in their life. So I see all types of like religious backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. Age does not discriminate with age. It does not discriminate with like race, sexual orientation, any of these things. Anybody could have an eating disorder, and with clinicians and myself, I want to approach it that way, that anybody does deserve and can receive the support that they need.
Thank you for being here with us, Caleb. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, no problem.
Sarah? Oh, if you have noticed changes in your mental health or in someone you care about, don't wait, take action. Visit BeNice.org to learn the action plan steps and take the pledge to use it in your life. Notice, invite, challenge, empower, 4 simple steps that can make a difference and help save a life.